What's up guys, Matt with BleepinJeep. Today I want to show you how to splice a synthetic winch line that has broken. Dang, what are you going to do when this happens to you or one of your buddies? Well, I guess it depends on if you've watched this video or not. Let's get started. Hey guys, Matt here with BleepinJeep. This video is brought to you by Olight. More on that in a minute. So unless you've been living under a rock, you probably know what a synthetic winch line is. And of course, there are people that have been living under rocks, and I hear about them in the comments section saying, I would never use a rope for winching. What's a rope gonna do? It's kind of funny, but ropes are so much stronger than steel as far as their brake strength. They will handle so much more load. The problem that ropes have is they fray. So if you get this snagged on a rock, or if you leave it out in the sun too long, it's going to get damaged like this. You know, it starts off looking like this, ends up looking like this, right? So after a while, that thing's going to fray. And the good thing about synthetic winch line is that when it does break, it just drops to the ground. Now, a metal winch line, a winch cable, when it is under tension, it stretches. And when it breaks, it can be pretty catastrophic. And I'm sure you've seen a video where that thing just shoots across and takes somebody's head off, right? But these, they're much more subtle. I've seen 0 winch cables break, and I've seen probably 5 of these break on the trail, and it's not dramatic at all. It's just like, oh no, my winch line broke. The good thing is you can repair that. But before we do, I have also seen a lot of people not understand what this thing is. They don't know what it does. Well, if you are one of those people, this is a sheath. It's a protector, and what it does is it goes over your winch line, and it goes over, let's say you have to pull over a rock. Let's say your Jeep is down here, whatever you're winching to is up here, and in between there's like this shelf. This winch sheath protector is going to go on that shelf. Like, let's say this is your shelf. It's going to go right there, and it will actually be under tension, and it'll stay there pretty much as the line winches through. And it's just going to sit there on that rock and protect your winch line. So that's what this thing is for. I've seen some people that think it goes way down here. I've seen some people that don't exactly know what to do with it. Now this, at the end, this red part, this means you don't want to go any farther than this. So once you spool out, let's say you've got a tree that's 100 feet from where you're at, and you spool out, once you see that the entire drum is full of this red part, that's when you want to stop, because if you go any further than that, it's not going to have enough tension. The way the winch rope works is this thing doesn't really hold the tension. It's all of the grip that this, what is that, like 6 foot of rope has on the drum itself. Whenever that's tied around the drum, it's got a lot of friction on it, and it'll keep it there. So you don't want to go past that red portion. That's why it changes color right near the end of the rope. But eventually that rope is going to fail. They all do, and we can easily fix that. And by the time you get to the end of this video, you'll be able to impress your buddies out on the trail and fix this in a jiffy. And you can actually kind of reverse engineer this. If you look closely, you'll see exactly how they did it. Let me show you. Hey guys, I want to tell you about this Olight flash sale. I found out about them through my pew-pews, if you know what I mean. They make some really quality flashlights, great buttons, high quality light, and great feel. So every time they have a flash sale, I want to tell you about it. This one is November 25th at 8 p.m. to November 30th. They've got all kinds of great discounts, but here's a few. The i5T Black or Desert Tan, 35% off. The Perrin 2 Black, 30% off. The Warrior Mini TI is 30% off. Now, they told me they'll probably sell out of those in the first 5 minutes. So they're also going to offer the S2R Baton 2, which is a very similar flashlight for the same amount off. Also, if you want a free gift, the i1R2 rechargeable keychain light in a random color, just register or log in with your account and it'll be automatically added to your cart. So I'm going to leave a link in the description box down below so you can go check them out and tell them that I sent you. Alright, here's your winch rope. Hopefully yours is a little more frayed than this, but we're pulling out all the stops for you guys. Got a brand new winch rope here that we're going to cut up for you. Now, a couple things that you should note. Winch ropes are very, very tough. A standard knife, unless it's brand new or very, very sharp, it's probably not going to cut through this thing. You might be cutting on that for several days. So just take that into account that you need a really sharp knife or you're just going to have to sit there for a while. Or carry a really sharp pair of scissors. Even these really sharp scissors, it's a little tough. Razor blade probably would work just as well. So there it is, you got a failure in your winch rope. I probably shouldn't have to point out that you don't have to take the whole rope off, but just for those people out there, you just want to pull out maybe 10 feet or so from your winch. Now you can do this right in front of the Jeep, right on the trail. Makes no difference. You're going to need a couple of other tools though. One thing that comes in handy is this FID from Factor 55. I'll leave a link below. Now you don't need this. We're going to do it without it. But if you do this often, this might be one of those tools that you want to get. It's basically a needle with this cage on the end of it. And this cage makes it quick and simple. You just pull up on this. It's like one of those finger traps, like a Chinese finger trap. That goes in there. And then that basically locks on so that you can thread this. What happens if you don't have one of those? Not to worry. All you need is something kind of sharp. Today, we're going to use just a standard ink pen. It's pretty simple. One other thing you need, a little bit of tape. So all we're going to do, we're going to tape the rope to the pen. I'm going to start way up top here and just go around trying to create some friction here. That's going to hold it in place. Once we get close to the end, we're going to put our pen in there. I need a few more hands here. Alright, right there in that spot, I'm going to go around it a few times. And then we're just going to continue on down the pin until we get a nice threading needle here. Alright, that's what we've got. A pin on a rope. Now, if you want to keep this metal thing, make sure you put the rope through there first. I'm not going to keep that for now. We're just going to make an open loop, something like that. Now, you want to have plenty of room. So I'm going to go ahead and take like 2 feet of rope back before I make my loop. Okay? Now, if you'll notice, this rope is hollow in the center. You can actually push it too, just like a Chinese finger trap. So what we're going to do, we're going to make a nice loop right here. You can make that as big or as small as you want to, depending on what you're attaching it to. And we're just going to go right through. And we're going to pull that through. Okay. Now, we're going to go just about 1 inch or so. We're going to go through the other side. It helps if you push it up, go through. Make sure you don't stab through the middle of the rope. Try to go right through the other side without piercing one of these single braids of rope. Now, on the 3rd time, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to push it open about 1 inch from there, and instead of going right through, we're going to go up the middle. You'll notice that this rope is hollow, and we're just going to push it. Push it up and go right down the center. Now, getting this thing in here might be a little tricky at first, but just make sure that you get that pin right down the middle of your rope. You'll find that it's easier to bunch this up rather than to push it. You just want to bunch this up. It'll open up nice and big on the inside, and then you'll use that opening to push the pin through. Now, depending on the thickness of the rope is how far you want to go down. A good rule of thumb, a foot, foot and a half. You can actually see on the original rope that they only went about a foot. So we're going to go about a foot with this one. So once you get up there a good ways, we're going to find an exit. And you can exit anywhere. Just find the tip of that pin. We're going to pull it out. And now we're going to take our tape off. That's going to be easier said than done. Instead of taking that tape off, let's just cut it. No one will know. Okay, now we're going to grab the end of the loop here and pull. Now, here's the thing. We want this end of the rope, we don't want it sticking out here. We want it to be inside here. So you'll get a good idea once you pull all this back where that's going to be. So now I'm going to push that up, cut the remainder right there, close to the end. Now when I pull that, it's just going to disappear right into the middle of that rope. Now check it out. We have, minus a couple of feet of rope, we have a brand spanking new rope that is 100% as strong as it was. If you were to have tied a knot into this, you can reduce the strength by up to 65%. So you don't want to tie a knot. You want to go ahead and do it right. And I mean, as quick as that was, that would only take 5 minutes if I wasn't having to explain it. It's super simple, and something that every Jeeper and every off-roader and every trail nat, we call them trail nats, razor owners, every one of you guys should know how to do this. Now you can go ahead and put your hook on. Once again, if you were going to use this, you would want to put that through before you put the pin on, but either way, this is 100% as strong as it was just out of the box. So next time you're out on the trail and somebody breaks their winch line, I want you to tell them, hey, I got this. I saw this on BleepinJeep. Once again, something handy to carry on the trail if you want. I'll leave a link down below in the description. This is called a fid. If you don't want to do that, I'll leave a link below down in the description for this handy dandy pin. Alright, thanks again for watching. Make sure to hit the thumbs up, do that little subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff, and we will see you, in the next video. Maybe we should do how to repair a steel winch line. If you're down with that, let me know down in the comments below. Would you like to see how to do this on a steel winch line? It's pretty fun. You might like it. Bye guys.